What's happening, everybody? How y'all doing out there? Keeping your rudiments together? You practicing? Staying loose? Staying grooving? Got a great guest today from a killer band in Scott Key of North Carolina's ASG. We caught up at St. Vitus Bar. Shout out to St. Vitus Bar as always. During ASG's tour with Lopan and Be At The Means for their awesome new record, Survive Sunrise, where we get into recording said record on the Texas-Mexico border, touring Europe and in the States with hometown boys Weedeater, dirt bike and mountain bike injuries, fake asses, calf implants, and paying our respects to Vinnie Paul. Rest in peace, my man. COC, Pantera, North Carolina's band Caltrop, vinyl collections, Rush tribute bands, Air Drums, Hurricanes, and actually the continuation of my Odd Job series. He's got some good ones. Shout out to my sponsor. If you're looking to release vinyl for your project, look no further than NewOrleansRecordPress.com. The first independently owned and operated full-scale vinyl pressing facility in the city. Get real-time quotes for the mini vinyl coloring and pattern options, as well as packaging, printing, mastering, and all that good shit. NewOrleansRecordPress.com. Get on over there and tell them Crash Bang Boom sent you. Got a quicker turnaround time than anywhere else, at least for now, so get it while it's hot. So here we go, y'all. Scott Key, ASG. New record, Survive Sunrise, out now. Check it out. Crash Bang Boom.
Crowds go mad with joy. Get the drum.
Scott Key of ASG, a.k.a. All Systems Go. I had to say that in my mind quite a few times because I was certain I was going to fuck it up, but I actually got it right.
You got it.
I got your name right. I got the acronym right. I got the a.k.a. I got the whole thing right.
Nailed it.
Man, we're off to a good start here.
All right, I feel good.
All right. How you doing, man?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Doing pretty good, man. It's starting to sprinkle a little bit outside. I rode my bike over here, but I live close by. So for those of you listening to this, you're probably accustomed to hearing a little bit of generator noise. That is how it goes down here at the St. Vitus basement where I do a lot of these interviews. So thanks to St. Vitus Bar as always. Well, man, it's good to catch up with you. I dig the new record, man.
Thank you.
It sounds great. Tell me a little bit about that record and a little bit about what's going on with this tour that y'all are on right now.
Well, right now we're just on a 2-week tour, mostly Northeast and Midwest. It's been going good so far. You know, a couple hit and miss shows, but last night was really good in Philly.
Cool.
Looking forward to tonight. We did 2 weeks in Europe last month. Played a couple festivals, Desert Fest. Did a couple of dates with Weedeater again.
Cool.
We seem to tour with those guys a lot.
Yeah, I could see that.
Same hometown.
Right, exactly.
And we've known those guys forever too. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Right on. And then y'all are also out with Lopan, and who is the third band on this bill?
Be At The Means.
Okay.
They're from Alabama.
Not to be confused with Vietnamese.
That's exactly right. Yeah. That's what I think every time. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I have a little bit of dyslexia, so I didn't move the letters around. It's just that it rhymes, I guess. That's what it is.
Yeah, but they're great. Both bands are great drummers.
Nice.
Great. The whole bands are awesome.
Yeah, it's a good build between the three.
Yeah, everyone's cool, you know.
That's always nice.
That's always the number one thing. So.
Yeah. Well, with Survive Sunrise, did you work with the same people on this record as you did for Blood Drive? Like engineering and studio producer-wise?
Same producer, Matt Hyde, who we've worked with for like the past 4 records, maybe.
Oh, nice.
But this time we did it at a new studio. We did it at Sonic Ranch in El Paso, well, just outside of El Paso, Texas.
Really?
Really awesome studio. It's out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's literally in the middle of the desert. You can see the border wall to Mexico.
No shit.
So yeah, they have 5 different studios or maybe more than that. And then each studio you have your own living quarters that are associated with it.
Wow.
And the one that we were at was like away from the main building, so we're literally in the middle a pecan farm is what it is, a pecan farm. But it was awesome.
It's a studio compound in a pecan farm that's
Yeah.
next to the border of Mexico.
Yeah.
This is insanity.
Yeah. Yeah, it's great.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was totally amazing. It was a wonderful experience. But we worked with Matt again, and we also had a drum tech, Walter Earl, who's like a really awesome guy.
Yeah.
Great guy. He's like Bill Ward's drum tech. And
No way.
Yeah. He works with a lot of like really high profile drummers. So I was just like kind of humbled and like, whoa, like starstruck almost. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, fuck yeah, absolutely.
So it was really cool, really fun. I had a great time, but it was a lot. It was a lot of work because we busted out. I busted out, 14 tracks.
Yeah.
I think, or 13 tracks. I don't
It's,
even
yeah,
remember.
it's a lot of tracks.
Yeah, in like 2.5 days basically.
Sweet.
So it was, once I got that done, I was on vacation basically.
Nice.
So
Did you have some fresh pecans by any chance?
I did not.
You didn't?
I
Oh,
did
man.
not. I had a lot of really good Mexican food, and a lot of coffee.
I bet.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was good.
When y'all were in Europe, like you were talking about, how long have y'all been going to Europe?
Man, maybe like 10, not under 10 years, I would say.
A little under a decade.
Yeah, but we've only been over there a handful of times, maybe
Okay.
3 or 4.
I like asking bands oftentimes, like, what are some of the spots that you felt that y'all are especially well received? Germans seem to love loud rock and roll.
Yeah.
Especially like, I think Europe in general has an affinity for all things rock and roll, metal, etc., and all of the subgenres thereof. Be it more of like the psych stoner bluesy thing like y'all do, I could see people being like, "That's my shit,"
Yeah.
So I don't know. Other than Germany, was there any particular place that you felt loved?
Well, I mean, most of the places really, but definitely Germany
Yeah.
sticks out as
Really?
far as people really being there and really being into it. It's funny. It makes me think of the movie Singles. When he's like, "We're really huge in Germany right now."
Right, exactly. And it is true. I know bands that exclusively just like go to Germany.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would do it. I'd go just to Germany if I needed to.
I hear you, man. Did you get any brutally honest takes on your performance from the uber dry Germans?
No, not really.
Really?
No.
Most of the people that I ask have, They'll
Yeah.
be like, last time you were here, not so good. This time, you were better.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah.
You were not as shitty as I supposed you
Yeah,
might
yeah,
be.
right.
I was impressed, but they just don't sound impressed at all. They just sound dry and have that bizarre delivery.
Yeah.
It's very German.
Yeah. No, they might have said that. I just didn't hear it or understand it.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Fair enough. Now, you mentioned Weedeater a little bit earlier. Y'all are from North Carolina. Whereabouts in North Carolina? Because the only spot that I'm familiar with, I've done a couple of road trips and went through the southwestern corner of it in the Nantahala Gorge area, which I love, man.
Beautiful.
It's fucking beautiful over there. I love that up in the mountains, along the rivers, in and out. It's like rainforests and jungles and shit.
Yep.
It's badass.
So we're at the totally other end.
Okay.
We're down on the southeastern coast,
Okay.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Gotcha.
And that's the same hometown as Weedeater as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've known those guys. I used to work with Dixie and Kiko, the original drummer.
Yeah.
At a place called Eastern Skateboard Supply.
Oh, cool.
Which is a wholesale distributor for skateboards.
Nice.
Other notable people who have worked there.
Okay.
Pepper Keenan.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So it's their owner, Reggie Barnes. He's a drummer too.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, that's how I met those guys. I mean, I knew they were in a band and everything, but we weren't even a band when I met them.
Yeah.
So we have a long history together. And
Yeah.
they're great. They're like family to us.
Fuck yeah. And y'all going on 17 years here, huh?
Yeah, we're getting old.
That's impressive, man.
We're not getting old. We are old.
It depends. Depends how you calibrate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Externally, I think I look a little bit younger than my actual age. But internally, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't gotten a CAT scan of my liver to see what's going on with that.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I'm feeling pretty good. Little aches and pains. Maybe I don't metabolize food quite like I used to. Maybe
Right.
getting a little bit fatter than I'd like to be.
Yep.
Kind of joints hurt a little bit more than they used to.
Definitely.
So these are some of the things that I'm experiencing as I age, for sure.
Yeah.
question about Weedeater then, man. I was supposed to interview Travis the last time that Weedeater was coming through, and I know Travis originally because one of my bands played with Whores, his previous band.
Yeah.
Loved his drumming, thought he was great, and he had some family things, so I wasn't able to talk to him, and then I ended up missing the show and didn't talk to the drummer that came through, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But Travis is a cool dude and a crazy drummer, man.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Quite a showman, that guy.
Yeah, for sure. And he's just a really nice guy, too.
Yeah.
Their new drummer, so here's the story I was going to tell you earlier.
Okay.
So a year and a half ago, I broke my shoulder.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Riding dirt bikes.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
You redneck motherfucker.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So,
I have a story I'll tell you about riding mountain bikes.
Okay.
So go ahead and tell me your story.
Well, all right. This is 2 weeks before we go out on tour.
Uh-oh.
I break the shit out of my shoulder. I have to get surgery.
And that's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's your shoulder.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, luckily it wasn't my wrist. You know what I mean?
I've broken my hand. I'll tell you about that.
Yeah. So, I called Jason from the fucking emergency room, and I'm all hopped up on pain pills. I'm like, I'm so sorry, I broke my shoulder. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to get somebody to fill in for me.
Yeah.
I've never missed a show ever in
Right.
my life, and it was heavy for me.
Right.
Fuck. So the guy that we got to fill in for me, Carlos, ended up filling in for Travis on the same tour because he was pulling double duty.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and he still plays drums with Weedeater today. So from that, getting him to fill in for me, they're like, well, maybe he'll fill in for us too. And he did. He learned all the songs, for both bands.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. So that's that story
Wow.
in a nutshell.
That's crazy, dude. So my story is that I went mountain biking in Peru.
Ooh.
And it was super high. I forget the elevation exactly. I think it was like 12, 13,000 feet above sea level, way the fuck up. There were literally condors flying around and shit. And I went down it, and I realized that mountain biking is both, the trails are different in a third world country, as is the maintenance of the bike that you're on, And I'm flying down this fucking mountain with this guy, and I was feeling good. I was getting a little cocky, and I went through a little stream and took a turn, and my tire slipped out. Bam, hit some rocks. Thought I broke my hand for sure, heard it snap. And the fucked up thing was I had to walk with my bike down to the road that snakes down the mountain.
Oh.
And had to ride it with one hand as dogs were charging out of huts with just native people living up in the mountains,
Yeah.
And dogs running out of huts, and I'm thinking, all right, now I'm just gonna die. Now a dog is gonna hit me. I'm gonna go flying off the side of a mountain. I managed to get back. And I was like, I told my girlfriend at the time, I was like, I'm pretty sure I broke my hand. I have to go to the hospital. So I told the woman at the hotel, the front hotel desk, she says, all right, I'm going to call a guy. She calls a guy. This guy shows up. He's 22 years old, super nice, Latin character, wearing a leather jacket. He's like, I'll take you to the hospital. And I was like, oh, okay. So I ride in his Honda straight to the hospital. He drops me off there. I go straight to the doctor, and there are people waiting in line and shit. I don't wait in any of the lines. Go straight there. He x-rayed me, put me in a cast, gave me some pain pills, and I got a ride back to the hotel. You know how much money it cost me?
No. How much?
$100.
No way.
Swear to God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's where I should have went to have my surgery.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Yeah.
Go to South America.
Yeah.
Apparently, Colombia is big, for chicks getting fake asses. You can go to Colombia. So I don't know if you want to get a fake ass or not. But, guys are also into getting calf implants. I think you could go there. It's
calf implants?
Yeah, that's a thing.
No way.
Yeah. You didn't know about that? Yeah, man. Not so much in the hetero community, more in the male gay community, I think. It's a token of power, I guess.
To each his own.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's a question I wanted to ask you. You mentioned Pepper Keenan. So I often think about sort of the roots of what we kind of call Southern metal to this day. Mm-hmm. So I have a few theories, and let me know if I'm connecting the dots.
Okay.
So in 1987, Rick Rubin produced the Cult's record Electric. The last song on that, Memphis Hip Shake, is this kind of southern boogie kind of song in line with like sort of like AC/DC mixed with ZZ Top or something like that. 1988, he puts out the first Danzig record. The last song on that is the song Evil Thing that has this kind of like strut and heavy kind of thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, in all honesty, of course, in 87 as well, Guns N' Roses put their record out. So then that's starting to like percolate some sort of like boogie and guitar playing shit like that,
Yeah.
you know? And then in 1990, and this is where I think it turned, Trouble put out their solo record, also produced by Rick Rubin, as did Pantera put out Cowboys from Hell. So that is when I think the metal came into it with some of that southern stuff. Mm-hmm. And then in 91, COC put out Blind, and that's the first time I heard some sort of Skinnerd influx into like straight up sort of Sabbath style shit.
Yeah.
And that is where, so that's some lineage that I came to and thinking about maybe where the seeds were being plotted along the way.
That sounds like it makes sense. Honestly, I'm more familiar with the Pantera and the COC parts of that.
Right.
But I had both of those records and loved them. So
fuck yeah.
Definitely.
Rest in peace, Vinnie Paul.
Yeah,
man.
right. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's
what a drag. Mid-50s, too early.
I know.
Had the gnarliest sideburns in the business.
Yeah. But man, like you think about it, like think about his kick drum sound.
Yeah.
And this is drum sound. Like,
right.
That's something you can listen to and know.
Yeah.
That's him.
I think that And Justice for All, which preceded Cowboys from Hell, might have been the start of kind of that clickier bass drum sound. Mm-hmm. And I think that he kind of went a little further with it. Mm-hmm. What was more important to me, because in full disclosure, I was never too crazy about the sound of the drums on Pantera records. Mm-hmm. His groove is always what I thought is what he brought to it. Because, I mean, playing shuffles and metal, because those dudes are Texas boys, he and his brother, growing up playing blues, idolizing all that stuff, and then bringing that into a metal context. Yeah. That is really where I was like, that's the shit.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that sound fit the music. You know what I mean? It wouldn't work for, us or
exactly.
anything.
Yeah, and also, and it's something we can talk about because you said that y'all also did some runs with COC. Reed Mullins playing in particular on COC's Blind record in 91 to this day. See, now there's an example of both groove, chops, and pretty killer drum sounds.
Yeah.
And that's what I dig about that record. I think that record is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it when it came out in 91.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like my master of puppets.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it.
Yeah, dude. I remember I got their tour poster when they came through town and had it in my bedroom forever, So, yeah. And it was really neat to be able to play with them, being, young and looking up to those guys, and they're from the same state that we're from,
right,
and everything. So it's like, it's cool.
That's
really
badass.
Cool.
Did you have any interesting conversations in particular with Reed?
He's a really nice guy, but nothing, over the top crazy. So.
Reed, if you're listening to this, I got to catch up with you one of these days. You're one of my favorite drummers.
Yeah.
Just a shameless plug there.
Yeah. There you go.
Fucking hey, man. There's another interesting band that I really dig from your state, Caltrop. Do you know those guys?
Yes.
Yeah, that band is badass. So I played with them. I used to play in a band called Family, and we played with this band Hull as well. That's also from Brooklyn. And Caltrop came through, and I didn't know anything about them, and they were on the gig, and I was just like, these guys are fucking killer.
Incredible.
Whoa.
Yeah. Drummer is John, I think, Crouch, maybe is his name?
Yeah, I think so. That whole band, man. The songs they write, the guitar playing.
Here's another story
okay.
For how small this world is. 2 of the guys, or maybe 3 of the guys in that band, work with my wife's brother's dad.
That's amazing you just made that connection.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I had to think about that for a minute because they have different dads.
Okay.
But her brother's dad.
Her father-in-law? Is that what that is? No, that's because they're brothers.
No. Yeah.
Oh, because I see. They have different dads.
Right. Yeah. But anyway.
Whatever that is. Secondary father.
Yeah.
Twice removed father.
Something like that.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah. So they're from Chapel Hill.
Oh, cool.
And that's where she grew up as well. So
yeah.
small world.
God damn.
But yeah, so we played. I don't even remember where we played a show with those guys, but I remember seeing them play. I was like, holy shit, man, these guys are fucking good.
Oh yeah, they are.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're real cool too. I don't know if they still play together. To
I
be
don't
honest with
think
you.
they do. I think the last thing they put out might have been like 4 years ago, maybe a little longer, and I think that might have been the last thing.
Yeah.
I hope they make a reunion. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was a killer band.
Yeah, definitely.
Lots of killer bands from your neck of the woods, apparently.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, there are.
What did you grow up listening to? And then how did you ultimately find the drums?
So the first record I ever had, I was my, like, I don't know, 9th birthday or something. I got a record player, and then I got 3 records. I got AC/DC Back in Black.
Nice.
I got a Leonard Skinner live album, One More From the Road.
Oh, that's awesome. Nice.
And I got a disco compilation album called Boogie Nights, but it had like Tina Turner and Commodores on there, shit like that. And I love all types
100%.
of music.
I have like 4 to 5 Commodores records, easy, like vinyl. I've been getting a good bit of vinyl, and
Nice.
I went back to the early Commodore stuff, and I knew some of their tracks and like the super funky early stuff, like kind of maybe a little pre-disco.
Yeah.
And I started getting into it, and it's so ridiculously awesome.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. So that's like the first, records I ever had, and then I got Van Halen's 1984 record.
Oh, dude.
And then
One of my favorites.
I've dug through my stepdad's record collection, and I found Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin. Because
Awesome.
I had never heard of. I guess I had heard them on the radio, but I didn't really make the connection of who it was.
Who it was, yeah.
So a lot of the music that I grew up listening to, I found through his record collection.
That's awesome. Do you still have any of those records?
No, man, I don't.
Does anybody, or did they all just go?
So part of living on the coast is we have hurricanes.
Dude, I grew up with them from fucking New Orleans, Gulf Coast area. Jesus.
So, and I lost a lot of really valuable stuff to me. Not monetarily valuable, but like
Right.
you know what I mean.
Sure.
So no, I don't have any of those original records that I used to have. I
That
wish
is
I
too
did,
bad.
man. I really wish I did.
Yeah, my dad lives about an hour north of New Orleans. We've had trees come through the house on 2 separate occasions. One of the times was for Katrina, just trees crashing through the house, rain coming in. And I actually went back, and I thought he had gotten rid of all of his records. And I inherited a bunch of records, and I was going through it, and I realized, oh shit, there's like a dozen of these that were my dad's original records. And it spans everything from like Third World, the band Third World, the reggae band, to all kinds of different stuff. And it's only a dozen records, but I'm glad that I got some of his records. It's cool as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But so yeah, and as far as getting into playing drums, man, my first memory of being, and it's not even seeing an actual someone play the drums. I was in a record store or a tape store when I was real young, and I saw someone do an air fill to Tom Sawyer.
Oh, nice.
And the guy nailed it, and I was like, how did he do that?
How did you know that?
Not even playing real drums,
Right.
So that's the first memory. Like, I want to do that.
How old were you?
I was really young then. Like,
Yeah.
I would badger my parents for a drum set. I used to draw pictures of drum sets and tape it on their mirror in their, bedroom, and like, Christmas is coming.
Right.
My birthday's
Just a little
coming.
reminder, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I didn't get my first like drum set till I was 16.
Yeah.
But so I joined the marching band and the concert band in high
Same
school.
here.
You know.
Same here.
And I was a band geek.
Yeah.
And that's how I I was able to borrow a drum kit from my high school when I was 15. The guy we had a new music teacher come into town. He let me take it home over the summer. And
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to do that kind of thing anymore, but I played the shit out of that thing and really
Set up in your parents' house?
annoyed my parents and the neighbors and my sister.
I guarantee it.
And that's and then finally I saved up enough money and bought my own, or my stepdad helped me buy it,
Right.
and I paid for half. And
Do you still have that original drum set? Or?
no, but I know who does have it.
Come on now.
Yeah, it's a guy I went to high school with. And when I was just talking about this right before we went on tour, our bass player, this is so weird how everything is so small. Like, our bass player, Andy, his uncle works with the guy that has my first drum set.
Come on.
I know, is it weird? Because I sold it to him when I was like 20 years old, maybe. And he just kept it forever, and he still has it. It's a Yamaha Stage Custom something, or it was like before the Power V or after the Power Vs.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But yeah, he still has it. It was a 5-piece kit. I bought a 10-inch tom for it. It was like a 10, 12, 13, 16. You know, I got a double pedal for it. I had all these cymbals. I have pictures of it, man. I'll have to send it to you.
Dude, send me one. I'd like to check it out.
Yeah.
I was just making jokes about it last night because when I played drums, no one played an instrument, to my knowledge, on any side of my family that preceded me.
Yeah.
So I didn't have, and
Same
none of my friends really did at the times either. So I didn't have anyone to really show me how to set a drum set up properly.
Yeah.
So I just got the thing and I was like, all right, I can hit it, but I swear, man, I must have had the heads vertically. I was tearing through them, and I was like, why am I destroying all my heads?
Yeah.
And of course, it was because I had set the thing up to like a crazy person, and just beating the shit out of it in all the wrong ways. But I did sell that, and I think I'm on my fifth kit at this point. I've been playing drum set for 26 years now.
Wow.
So a quarter century of that, and same thing, marching band, all that stuff. And I was lucky enough to study with some really killer drum instructors in New Orleans.
Awesome.
Around college. I never went to school for music, but I just had some killer dudes who really like pushed me, in directions that I would have clearly never have gone.
Yeah.
Did you do much studying at all, like specifically with drum set, or are you primarily self-taught?
Yeah, primarily self-taught because it was, I learned some basic stuff like how to do a double stroke roll and a few rudiments, and then the drum set is all self-taught for me pretty much. I had a family friend who played drums, Frank Pirtle. He just recently passed away.
Oh man!
And he's been a drummer, still was, and taught. And he did give me a few pointers and tips and lessons like that. But I never, pursued it as much as I should. I always kind of, I'm like, man, I wish I would have studied a little bit harder, or learned a little bit better technique or something like that. You know what I mean?
There's also something to be said for learning on the job and touring and writing and being part of a creative process.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, for me personally, it was more important to have, as I got older, just one-off lessons and go back and extrapolate little things of that I could then work on and ultimately work those out in a musical context with other people and be in a more of a creative environment. As opposed to every semester, like in college or whatever, just, doing the academic side of it is dry and can be a little boring and just not very fun.
Actually, let me back up. So I went to college. I took like one semester of music courses, and I was like, I want to be a music major. But unfortunately, that same semester, I fucked off a lot and partied and got kicked out of school. So
did you go to school in North Carolina?
Yeah, at UNC Wilmington,
cool.
UNCW. So it didn't last, and but I have taken a couple lessons from guys in town, older guys in town, that, in my later years too. So just to try to learn something new,
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, it's a never-ending process.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a funny thing when I hear people say that generally don't play instruments. They say, "Who's your favorite drummer?" Like one guy, or even the more ridiculous one was like, "Who's the best drummer in the world?"
Right.
And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. Come on, man. There's no scientific way of proving this in the first place, and it's all taste and whatever you're into anyway. It's all subjective. So it's a strange thing, but whatever.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, do you have any drummers that from your childhood that are still influential to you and that you feel permeate some of your playing to the day?
I would have to say, like, because I feel like I'm kind of a simple drummer, you know, there's nothing crazy going on, and it's just all about the groove and everything, so
Yeah.
I would think that AC/DC record really stuck with me. And,
Phil Rudd's playing.
Yeah, and I was in a Rush cover band. That was my first band
No shit.
in high school. You know, I love the technical side of stuff like that too,
Right.
but I'm not saying that I'm anywhere near like.
Right. That's interesting that you like him. You know what's funny, man? For me, my favorite Rush record is the first one that Neil Peart doesn't even play
Yeah.
on.
Right.
That's my favorite record. I also feel like that's kind of one of those prototype stoner rock records with prog elements in it.
Yeah.
You know, there were other bands around that time, like whether it was Atomic Rooster or Wishbone Ash or some of those bands that kind of had this stoner thing, but also proggy elements to it, you know? And that first Rush record is the shit.
Yeah, and I never knew that wasn't Neil Peart.
Yeah.
Did I say it right? Peart?
I don't know if it's Peart.
Yeah.
I mean,
I read. I got somebody bought me one of his books, and I read it, and I was like, I never knew it wasn't Neil Peart.
right.
And
'cause
now
you see
every
the drums,
every
or no,
time
Pearl. You take it's Pearl, Peart. You think
Yeah.
it's the same thing?
Anyway, that guy.
Yeah, that guy.
I never knew that wasn't him either on that first record.
Yeah.
And the guy's John Rootsey or
I
something like that.
forget his name right now.
Yeah, but yeah, huge influence on me too.
Nice. When you played in the Rush cover band, what songs did y'all play?
We played Tom Sawyer, of course. We played YYZ.
Cool.
What did we play? It was like what had happened was I bought the book that had all the transcriptions from it it wasn't just that album. Man, that's been so long ago. I really can't fucking remember. But it was at least YYZ and Tom Sawyer and those hits. type.
Okay, but nothing off the first record.
No.
Interesting.
No,
Okay.
no.
Working Man's a jam.
Yeah, dude. Think if somebody covered that now.
So my friends in Suplex from New Orleans, stoner rock band. I don't know if you know those guys or not.
I know. I don't know them, but I know of them.
Of them? Yeah,
Mhm.
they've been around. They've been doing it probably every bit as long as y'all been doing it, maybe since late 90s, early 2000s. But they did Working Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
and
love
did
to
a
hear
great
that.
version of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. There's another song off that first record, like I think it's called What You're Doing or What Are You Doing? One of those, and that is actually my favorite song on that record.
Yeah.
It blazes. It's so badass.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah. I mean, I have tons of other. I mean, I feel like everyone I listen to influences me in some way or another.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, Led Zeppelin, Bonham,
Right. It's hard to get away from
duh.
Bonham.
You know, that's
Yeah. it's the no-brainer.
yeah.
I think that one of the guys that still sticks around me to this day, because the band that I'm playing with now is a little bit like mathier and nerdier, but I love the grooves and the technicality of Ian Pace from Deep Purple.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of those guys, and
Yeah.
I talk about him all the time on the podcast because he's hands down one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Of all time. He's like in my Mount Rushmore. He's in my Magnificent Seven
Nice.
for sure. He's yeah. So
Lefty.
he's one of those. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like Bonham and Buddy Rich. Like
No.
he play crazy drum solos the whole night.
Yeah. I've got a bunch of DVD, like drum DVDs, drum nerd, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
you
of
know.
course.
But it's like one with him and Chad Smith.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I got that, and it's just cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chad is an underrated drummer as well. I think what he does on the recordings is one thing, but when you see him live, you realize, oh man, he can.
God, he hits so hard.
He bashes and he
grooves.
He grooves.
And he's got technical.
He's got technical ability.
Yeah.
Chad's a really killer drummer.
Yeah.
He's great. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those guys that doesn't really come up all that often.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about other bands that are kind of, I think, in y'all's vein, and I started thinking about a couple of record labels in particular. And speaking of Suplex from New Orleans, they were on Man's Ruin Records, or Man's Ruin, I believe that was, right? Yeah. With a bunch of killer bands. I think Alabama Thunder Pussy and Orange Goblin and some of those kind of late 90s, early 2000s kind of stoner rock bands.
Yeah.
And I think that y'all have that, and we're coming around at the same time as well. So I think another label that is actually based out of here in New York is TP Records, and some of the artists like Atomic Bitch Wax is on the record.
Aren't they on tour?
Yeah,
right
they're
now?
on tour right now.
Yeah.
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 I did an interview with Bob Pantera, the drummer. He's fucking hilarious.
Oh, yeah?
He also plays in Monster Magnet. And,
Oh,
yeah.
We just played a show with him in Europe.
Oh, nice.
I didn't get to meet him, but
Dude, go meet that guy. He's fucking hilarious.
awesome.
He is absolutely hilarious.
I did take a picture of his drum set backstage, though.
He has great drum sets.
Oh, yeah, it was an acrylic set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I was talking the drum tech, or I guess he had a drum tech. He was like, yeah, they look really good.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they look awesome.
It's
That's
good.
why I'm taking a picture of
Good
it.
ass looking drum set.
Yeah. But so here's another story.
Okay.
Small world.
Okay.
Guitarist for Monster Magnet,
Yeah.
Phil,
Yeah.
co-produced one of our records.
Come on.
Yeah. So that's how we...
Small circle.
Yeah. That's how we know them. But it was cool. We just played a Sonic Whip in the Netherlands.
Oh, awesome.
Last month. And they played, and it was great.
Very cool.
Yeah.
One of the bands that actually was on both Man's Ruin Records and TP Records was this band Drunk Horse from California. You ever check them out?
No.
Dude, they have a record, 2 records, Adult Situations and In Tongues, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Check those records out. It's like Thin Lizzy meets Allman Brothers meets like some punk rock shit.
Into it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like the concept of that is my shit, you know?
Yeah.
Check those 2 records out. And anyone listen to this, check out those Drunk Horse records. They absolutely rule. That band is killer.
Cool.
So, Survive Sunrise, obviously new record. We talked a little bit about it. What's ahead for the rest of the year? What y'all got going on? Any more tours beyond this one? Or
Nope.
Nope. This is the one. So some relaxing. What do you do in the interim there in between? Y'all put out a record 4 or 5 years ago. What did you do in the interim?
We're just all regular dudes and have jobs. And
What do you do for a living?
I build playgrounds.
Come on.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've been doing that for about 7 years. Before that, since I've been in a band for so long, I've done every job that you can ever think of.
That's the way it goes.
From dishwasher to cutting grass to
I've done all those.
cook to waiter to
Yep.
bar back, whatever the fuck. You know?
I never did any customer-facing shit because I would just want to throw food at them. But I was like washing dishes or cutting grass or doing some bullshit.
Yeah.
I actually put out 2 episodes called Odd Jobs Parts 1 and 2. And for like a year and a half, I asked everyone like what their worst job was about being a musician, and just put out 2 independent episods of just that.
Oh, yeah.
Those answers. It's hilarious.
I
That's some
bet.
crazy fucking jobs. In fact, going back to Whores, who obviously Travis played in. Donnie, the drummer now that plays with Whores, I think had the worst, and his was that he had to clean out a septic tank, but like a cave-sized septic tank that he had to go in with a full suit and unclog it.
No.
He won.
He won?
He won the shittiest job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Yeah. Wow, yeah, that sounds like it, yeah.
Fucking A, man. Well, Scott, good talking to you, dude. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all tonight. I brought my weed, so I'm going to get high for the fucking stoner extravaganza.
Right on.
Have a good one, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in, and thanks to Scott for sitting down and talking to me. It was a great show with ASG, Lopan, and Be At The Means. Super cool tour, and definitely check out that new record, Survive Sunrise. It's great, man, and I love the story about the recording of it, and I think it shows that record sounds killer. So keep your eyes peeled for ASG. All systems go. North Carolina rock. Stoner rock. We'll catch you on the next one. Crash, bang, boom.